Okay, in today's video, a follow-up on the metals. I tend to think we probably completed the intermediate cycle low. Silver here this morning. This may change a little bit after the GDP report later today, but as of right now anyway, silver is breaking the intermediate trend line. That's usually a pretty dependable signal that the ICL has been completed. I'd mentioned this in the last video, the coil that had formed in silver. Um, as I had said before, the initial break from a coil usually tends to be pretty powerful. They also, more often than not, they reverse pretty quickly. Most of the time, the initial break will last 3 to 4 days. I've seen a few uh, reverse after only a couple days. This one was even quicker. It reversed the very next day. Um, so, looks to me like we're probably done with the intermediate cycle low. And looking at gold, in the last video, I said I was watching um, this resistance zone right here. When we broke below that, and, then tried 3 or 4 times to get back above it, um, looked like we might be ready to do it yesterday, but more attacks in the middle of the day managed to push gold back down below that level by the close. But this morning, prices bouncing back up through there again. So I'm inclined to think that that's probably it, that the intermediate cycle low was completed right here on this on the 23rd. And let me widen this chart a little bit, and I would I'm inclined to say that the handle part of this cup and handle pattern has probably done. And between now and probably, I'm going to say September, I think we're going to have a very nice rally in the metals. I think we're finally going to break out above this basing pattern that's been in play here for a couple years. Widen the chart a bit. All right, so you can see ever since the baby bull top right here, gold's just been in this volatile back and forth, difficult to trade basing pattern. But this intermediate cycle low formed differently than previous V-shaped rallies. This is a rounded bottom, um, typically a sign of accumulation, and I'm pretty sure this is turning into a cup and handle base. And I think the handle has been completed, and we're going to break out above this pattern and above this resistance zone. I think 2019 is going to be a very good year for the metals. I think the miners are going to at least test the baby bull highs during this next intermediate rally over the next 4 or 5 months. So here's a longer term view. And we've basically, the miners, GDX anyway, has come back down to test the lower boundary of this consolidation box right here. All right. So yeah, you can see we've tested the lower boundary of this consolidation box. It's kind of maybe expecting a you know, a quick break below this pivot, but we may not get any more. That this may be it. Um, and I think during the first daily cycle, I think we could definitely test the upper boundaries of this consolidation box. And before this intermediate cycle tops, I think there's a good chance we're going to retest these baby bull highs. So I think there's a lot of potential in the metals market this year. And actually, I think there's just a lot of potential in all markets this year. I been saying for a while that I think it's time for everything to go up together. And it may be time for stocks and energy to correct here soon, and then we'll get another entry into those markets. But right now, I think we're setting up the entry in the metals after this intermediate pullback here.